YouTube, hello, welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. We're going to be going over the guild battle today, and I showed off the team that I'm going to ultimately be using, but I wanted to build a couple of other teams with folks because I wanted to have some like other options that were not the Final Fantasy XIII banner related. And so I just wanted to go over this really quickly, and the idea here, when I post the video initially with the strategies and the build that I'm using and like how I piece it together, I want to showcase kind of my logic throughout the process, right? And so for this team in particular, the idea here is pretty simple, right? We have one person that's our primary DPS, which in my case is Sephiroth, right? And then we have two other characters that kind of bring in all of the other effects that we need. So in this fight, we need water resist down, we're looking for enfeeble, we're looking for physical attack up, we're looking for physical defense up, and we're looking for physical attack debuff. Obviously, Sephiroth and Tifa do a really great job here because Tifa's water weapon already has a physical attack decrease built in, and then Sephiroth has a weapon that lowers water resistance. Even this, I mentioned during the stream, is not the ideal. Ideally, you'd like to have Exploit Weakness with his Blade of the Worthy here, and then have Angeal with a water resist down weapon. Ideally, you'd want to have Mithril Slasher at OB6 because this does a mid to high water resist decrease. Also does a provoke for those single target attacks to make sure that those are coming away from your other two DPSs, and has a sigil boost slot, so you're able to get this extra couple of tiers off when you're trying to break through its sigils. The reason I didn't end up using something like the Sea Dragon Greatsword is because it does not have that sigil boost slot, and I need that sigil boost slot. So I'm doing what's best for my account and what I have available, but there are a ton of options here for you to be able to like fill the roles that you need, right? So as an example, when I'm just trying to fill in those specific roles, you can do something very similar to this. If you just have Tifa as an example, and Tifa is your primary DPS, you can build Tifa with her water weapon and all of her typical water DPS elemental materias, right? Give her Leviathan, all of the best offensive weapons that you have. And then when you bring in Sephiroth, you can actually use Sephiroth's Tempest as your water resist down. And this is a perfectly fine option, right? You can come in with water resist down and a weapon called Northern Lights, which has the ability to lower physical attack, and you can have your Sephiroth just be the debuffer on your team, right? If you don't have the Final Fantasy XIII weapon and you're looking for water resist down and physical attack down, these two work just fine, right? And then all you're looking for at that point is a physical attack increase, a physical defense increase, and then potentially any other effects, right? So like water damage up, exploit weakness, etc., right? You can bring in whatever you need to at that point. You can also bring in like Red 13 has a water resist down that works really well. So there are a lot of options in the game. You just have to kind of figure out which one is the best for your account and then go from there. So the big thing is identifying quickly who is your best water DPS for physical, right? Build around them first and then fill in the slots that you require after that, right? So there's a lot of options in the game you can definitely use. I'm going to go over the strategy one more time in a mock battle just to showcase kind of what the idea is here. But basically, what we want to do is we want to get all of our debuffs on that are tied to specifically HP threshold levels, right? And so the ones that come to mind immediately are Torrential Thrust and Angeal's Fortress Guard. So we're going to immediately, once it starts to pop off here, we're going to do this, and we're going to put the water resist down as well, and we're going to put Enfeeble down as well, which also has a threshold. Wait for the diamond to fill up here, and then I'm usually just switch to semi because, to be honest, I'm lazy when it comes to getting the runes off. And then Sephiroth's just going to start dealing damage at this point. And then this should actually pop the break off. So now we're just going to do as much damage as humanly possible. Just start DPSing, don't stop. Don't stop. Everybody's doing damage. Everybody's doing damage. You can see the water resist is going down. So here, because the water resist is going down, I do try to get Sephiroth's HP threshold back up just to get this water resist down again. Keep going off. And then we didn't actually get this off in time, but we can still get the tidal flare off. And then this is going to go off instead, which is fine. So now we can start working on the sigils here as well. Obviously, we're working with HP gain at this point, so we're trying to do as best we can to break the sigils. I've not found a bunch of success not having to support someone like a Cait Sith or a Sid at this point from actually breaking these sigils well enough. I didn't get the defense one in time, I don't think. I did hear it switch, maybe I didn't. Based on that damage, doesn't look great. Oh, I did, great. And then we switch back to offense, and then just go right back into it again. Go ahead and get our boss back on again here. Oh, it killed Sephiroth. And there you go. So like that's kind of why I try to get as much damage down in that first phase as I can, to varying levels of success. I've been trying in the best attempt I had in my last video. You'll notice that I had Tifa not using sigil breaks in that because it was breaking a little too quickly. And so that was actually causing me to lose a little bit of DPS as a result, right? You're going to see that my total result here is going to be worse than it was in the last one. And it's because I didn't have Tifa just doing damage. So we'll get this last attack off and then just Tidal Flare into Diamond Dust. So yeah, overall, it's not that bad. Obviously, we're all going to have some varying levels of success here. But the idea here is to have somebody that's coming into the party that is specifically focused on breaking the sigils, and then have your other two characters doing the individual tasks that they need to do. So in the case of the team where I had, you know, Tifa as the main DPS and Sephiroth was the Tempest and the physical attack down user, you just have him use Tempest, use physical attack down, have Tifa use her setup, so like leather combat gloves to increase your overall DPS, to put Enfeeble on, and then have your third character, whoever that may be, whether that's a Sid, and Sid works fine here, by the way, if you wanted to use Sid for Rocket Lance and that extra supporter. Endlessness has a great video that I'll link in the description below that uses Sid as an example with an OB1 Rocket Lance, and I think is a great example of how you can utilize Sid in this team. And then you can always use Scimitar as a physical attack increase if you really wanted to, instead of using Poleaxe, because Tifa's weapon, if you do have Tifa's weapon at OB6, has a good physical attack debuff anyways. So then Sid wouldn't have to bring in his physical attack debuff. There are a lot of great options there, and Endlessness did a great job with that video, and I want to shout that. I want to shout them out. So the video will be down in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. But yeah, so that's kind of the process here. I'm going to go through and do all 3 of my official attempts with y'all today. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did in my main attempt last time. So I'm only going to be doing DPS with Sephiroth and Tifa. Angeal's only going to be going through and doing sigil breaks. And as you saw, my guild's already gone through and knocked out the other 4. So we're just waiting on this one at this point. And I'm pretty sure they're waiting on me. So I am going to run through this and just do the official matches here. But yeah, like I said, it still works really well, and I'll do a mock battle with the other team, and I'll probably insert that before these official attempts for folks that are more interested in seeing the other teams ran. But yeah, so the big thing here is making sure that we get our physical defense increased, because we do not want to take a ton of damage from the Gallon Balor X. So as soon as it does this lightning charge, we want to make sure we get our physical defense up. We're gonna put the water resist down. And then I'm going to put the physical attack down. And then as soon as we hit this, I'm going to put it on the semi here, and then just start whacking this thing. And then I'm going to put both their haste. There we go. And then that'll take it down. And now we just straight up DPS. Now we're just going to try to do as much damage as possible here. I'm not trying to do anything else. We need to keep an eye on that water resist down, but we should be okay for now. We're gonna put our physical defense up again. We were still good there. There's our Tidal Flare. I'm gonna interrupt the squash. Oh, I didn't get it off in time. Dang it. It's okay. Yeah, that's okay. All right, let's just try to I'm gonna try to break this as fast as possible if I can. This does waste the overspeed, but at this point, if Sephiroth dies, he's not gonna do damage anyway, so. That's kind of where I'm at. And like I said, I try not to take this super seriously at this point, because with all the latency issues and the very small differences between the reward that you get, right? For me personally, it's just not worth the stress of you know. Oh, I didn't mean to use that. Whoopsie doodle. It's okay. We don't have to switch to defense mode here because this is a percentage health attack. It's a gravity attack. We'll lose our buffs here, which is not the end of the world. And eventually we'll get to do an attack, maybe. And then straight to DPS again. Okay. Perfect. Not too bad. And so obviously this wasn't a perfect attempt either. Ideally, you'd like to have all of your limit breaks or your summons ready to go for this the in-between phases. Because obviously we lost all of our buffs, and Sephiroth was weaker there anyway because I used Flash of Steel by mistake. Even but this attempt was actually lower than the mock battle, if you'll notice. But it's fine. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. This isn't going to make or break our guild, at least. And that's why I'm just going to kind of go in as best I can. 18% is fine, right? It's fine. Means all 3 attempts is going to take it out, and that's really all I'm concerned about. And as you saw in the strategy attempt, we did get up to that 24% threshold. Go back to Angeal here. And then same deal. So we Fortress Guard, Hydro Spike. And then we just start breaking sigils with Angeal here. We're gonna go ahead and put Enfeeble down. Get our haste up as well. And then I'm gonna do 1 cast with Tifa here because that's actually gonna finish it off. And then we just go all in on DPS, 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 DPS. Just to go, 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 go. With Angeal as well. Now, obviously, we're going to lose our water resist down here soon, so we're just going to reapply that. Oh, it's not even going to work. Because Sephiroth just lost enough HP there to lose it. Let's interrupt the squash. I got it that time. Because that'll make it recast it. I don't think I got that off in time. I didn't. Dang. That sucks. That sucks. Alright. That's okay, though. Just go straight into breaking sigils here. We get Tifa's haste up as well. Our HP gain is down. Damage is not in a bad spot right now. If we can break it before we lose all of our buffs, we should be okay to do some extra damage in the second phase here. But it's really going to depend on when this thing decides to slip back over. Yeah, we're going to be like 2 sigils short, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 2 cast short. Use all overspeeds here. And then DPS. Sephiroth barely survived there, my goodness. I wasn't sure who that was on. I should have known it was on Angeal. We'll lose a little bit of damage there because I was worried it was going to hit Sephiroth. But his limit break wasn't even up anyway, so I should have just waited. A little bit of a misplay there on my end. Yeah, he still had Provoke on, so it was always hitting Angeal. My bad. That time we did 19%. So yeah, just a little lower than what we did in our offline attempt, right? But more than enough for us to be able to finish it off. It's only got 12% left. We'll be able to finish it off easily here. This will revive all the bosses for all the other guild members so that they can fight whatever they're comfortable with. And that's the joy of the guild battle, man. You can just kind of go into this, and so depending on the guild that you're in, and most of the folks that are probably watching my video in particular, we're probably all in kind of the same boat, where we're just trying to like do the best that we can personally with the tools that we have available. And that's all there is to it. Use 1 cast for Sephiroth here. And then just DPS time. Now, obviously, my damage is going to be a little bit lower than other people you might see on YouTube here. Mostly because I'm working with OB6 weapons, not OB10, right? These last 2 attacks should take it out. I could interrupt it there if I wanted to, but it's down. And that's it, folks. So we'll go through and we'll do the mock battle really quick with the other team, just so that folks have a good idea of like how you can use another team. Again, if you didn't already, make sure you check out Endlessness video in the description, because I think they did a great job of like going through all of the options that you can use. Yeah. Let's hop right back into the stage 5 fight. I'm going to make this team with you from scratch. We'll go ahead and just delete these 2. I'm going to use a character that is a little bit more reasonable, I suppose, and something that many folks will probably have. Let's go ahead and use Cloud with his Advent Children outfit. Oh, this is actually being utilized, huh? Well, it doesn't matter. I'll just use this because it looks fun. The strategy is the real thing, right? And so let's say that Cloud is my main DPS because I pulled on Fusion Sword, right? So let's say you pulled on Fusion Sword during 2nd anniversary, and we'll just go through this like as if we have the Fusion Sword available. So if Cloud's gonna be my main DPS, I'm gonna give him all of my water potency, and I want the best water potency. Currently the support materia is active. There we go. And then we're gonna give him 1 Circle Sigil, which actually the water blows are Circle Sigils, so that works out great. We can just give him another water materia. And then same thing as Tifa here, we're just going to give him the best options that we have available for water potency and physical ability potency. So right now he needs another 26 points to get to that level 8 break. There is only 1 water weapon in the game that actually has a 56-point sub-R ability, and that is the Grand Gloves, which is not a great option because it has the heal, and we don't really need to boost heal for this, obviously. So we could just go in with 2 water weapons, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing instead. I'll just go in with, yeah, we'll just go in with Black Whiskers. That'll give us the rest of the physical attack that we need, and then we're looking for physical ability potency, so we'll do this enemy launcher, and then I'm going to give him Feathered Gloves, because the Feathered Gloves give an attack and water potency buff, which will bring his DPS up a little bit higher, but also get him to that level 8 break for the water potency, and the level 6 break for boost attack, which is good. Then after that, we're looking for somebody that can lower water resist and physical attack, which I'm just going to use Sephiroth, because I think that's the best, not the best option, but a good option, right? There are obviously other options here, and if you wanted to have someone like a support, you could bring in Cait here, and I think that Cait is a fine option. We can actually, like, you know what, let's build it with Cait just for fun. We'll go in with Cait. Cait has the green megaphone for water resist down. Yeah, sure, you know what, we'll just give him a PDEF increase, and that's what he can do when he's not doing water resist down. We'll give him, this was just the free outfit that he got during the Monster Hunter event. We'll give him Army of 1 just so he has something. We'll give him a bunch of physical defense materia with a cure in case we need it. And then what do we need in this slot? A Circle Sigil slot, great. So we can actually put a water blow materia here. And then for sub-weapons, we're just gonna give him physical attack all allies, physical defense all allies, and attack all allies, just to help increase Cloud's damage. Because remember, these secondary characters, their only role in this is to give Cloud more damage, right? So we're going to give him, actually, instead of this, I'm going to give him Darrow Platus, so that way he gets a little buff debuff extension. I'm going to give him Rocket Lance, because that also gives buff debuff extension, and then any physical defense weapon is fine. So we'll just give him the shovel. That'll take care of Cait. So at this point now, we've got water resist down, we've got physical defense up, so we're looking for physical attack increase, and we're looking for a enfeeble, exploit weakness, something of that nature, right? Or water damage up, right? Something to help increase Cloud's damage a little bit. Cloud already has exploit weakness, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're really just looking for physical attack up and physical attack down. So physical attack up for your team, physical attack down for the enemies. Also enfeeble if we can get away with it. Who do we have for options here? Sid can do both of those things, right? But he doesn't have the ability to do physical attack up and physical attack down with enfeeble. So I guess that leaves Cait in a bit of an awkward spot, eh? You probably want to use his limit break weapon here, because this does physical attack up and enfeeble. This is probably the better option of the two. If you have this available at OB0, the Cool Cat's Megaphone, which if you've been following this account and you've been playing since before 2nd anniversary, you likely should have one of these available, but it's an option. There's also a limited weapon that he has called the Kina Megaphone. That is physical attack and physical defense up all allies. This was also a limited weapon during the crossover banner with Final Fantasy IX. So if you have this available, this is actually perfect for this fight, right? So if you've got the Queen of Megaphone available, that's also a great option. But we're gonna go with the Cool Cat Megaphone, because that gives us the enfeeble that we're looking for. And it makes it so that now we don't need to use Sid We just need a physical defense up, a physical attack up, and then, or I'm sorry, and a physical attack down for the enemy. So there are a couple of great options there for both of those. Obviously, Angeal fits this build. You can use Stalwart Integrity, which if you've been playing since the 2nd anniversary, you've got that to OB6 automatically, right? And he's got some great physical attack debuffing options. Zach also has some physical attack debuffing options. So you've got Zach you could use there as well. And then I think, I don't know, does Matt have a physical attack debuffing weapon? Yeah, physical attack down. So yeah, you could actually use Matt here, and that would work out just fine. So you already have your physical attack up. So you're looking for a physical defense increase, which can just be Centipede. And then the offhand weapon would just be the Slick Beetle, would be his physical attack debuff. So there you go. So you've got water resist down, you've got enfeeble, you've got physical attack up, you've got physical defense up and a heal. You've got physical attack down at a high level, and then you've got your DPS. And that's kind of the role that these guys are going to play. So I'm just going to equip my Matt with all the best stuff that I have available currently. And obviously with ultimate weapons, you can use the gotcha ultimate weapons. You can use whatever you have available. Just use what you have, right? I use Army of One here just because it's a quick limit break. That'll help me interrupt those in-between phases a little bit easier. We'll give Cait Sith Tidal Flare because Cait Sith's already got a little bit of water potency from the green megaphone. I'm going to give him some boost defense stuff just to help him out. He'll have some sigil breaking slots as well. And then because we have the overspeed with Cait Sith to help with sigils, we'll actually be able to help break those sigils down a lot faster in the second sigil phase, should we make it that far, which, you know, God willing we do, but. And then same thing here, we're just going to do physical attack up, attack all allies, and then physical defense all allies. Pretty easy, right? And so the idea here is just to try to increase Cloud's DPS as best as possible. We're going to go into our Memoria, make sure that we give the same Memoria that we recommended before, which is the Memoria of the 3X soldiers, because it gives that extra damage to quadrupeds. And as we saw in the actual description, this is a quadruped, so that does increase your damage against this. And then for the buff score, we're just going to auto formation with points. And that'll give us the points that we're looking for, and then go into our mock battle. So essentially, the strategy is going to remain exactly the same, right? We want to make sure that we're breaking through the sigil break phases, but we also want to make sure that Cloud is getting enough done to get himself in a position to do DPS when we're ready to deal damage, right? So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're getting all of our buffs and debuffs down. So we're going to get Enfeeble on, we're going to put physical attack down, and then Cloud's going to use his turn to shine. Now, as soon as this diamond goes full, we're going to immediately start to sigil break here. I'm just going to go into semi and start sigil breaking immediately. And Cloud can actually help out here at this point. Go ahead and start getting our stuff on. And now, again, this is just going to be a straight-out DPS fest, right? Oh, we don't have a physical defense down. That's what I was missing. I knew I was missing something. Knew I was missing something, dude. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and make sure that we're just using all of our stuff here. And as it goes to do its stop attack, we're going to interrupt with Army of One just to increase our damage a bit. Squash attack, rather. Sorry. This will increase our damage a little bit higher. And then, again, Cloud's just going to keep doing as much damage as humanly possible here. We're going to get our... Perfect. Enfeeble back on. Go ahead and get everybody some ATB. And then we're going to interrupt this technique as well to get our Tidal Flare up. Going to get our Tidal Wave going. Solid damage, right? And then just one more attack, and then we would just wait for a second. And now I am going to do a overspeed for Cait Sith here to try to break through these sigils a little bit faster. You're gonna see, we're gonna end up taking like one attack here, but we definitely won't. Oh, wow, that lags so bad. This is like, just don't take this fight seriously, y'all. You can't. Like, it's such a meme. Switch back, and then just a couple more sigils, and we're good to go. We can actually just go with overspeeds here and just start going into all DPS, right? We'll get everything going. Make sure that we get our Enfeeble back on. Perfect. Get our water resist back down. There comes the fling. We should be in good shape here, though. Cloud's just going to keep mashing damage. Keep mashing damage, keep mashing damage, keep mashing damage. Keep mashing damage. We should get one more off. Okay, and then we interrupt, we go Tidal Flare, Army of One, and then Tidal Wave. Increase our DPS a little bit higher again. There's the Tidal Flare. Oh, its defense was like +5. Shame on me for not bringing a PDEF debuff. That was part of the problem there. But there you go. That was 68 million, right? And that was with an unoptimized build. We didn't even have physical defense down, right? We just had it, like, the big things that we had here were the OB6, the OB6 Fusion Sword, and I only did 6% or 7% less than the Final Fantasy 13 banner, right? And that was with an inefficient build. So just food for thought. Try not to get too frustrated by it. Try to figure out what works best for you and what works best for your account, and go from there. If you need any help, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section down below, or you're always welcome to join the KatKrew guild. We do have a couple of slots open still, and we don't have any requirements, so you're more than welcome to join. That'll be in the description as well if you're interested. And good luck with your attempts, everybody. And remember that at the end of the day, these attempts are like, it's nice to try to get as high of a what's what I'm looking for, a rank as you can, right? But keep in mind that, like, even at the lower ranks in this, when you look at like the actual rewards that you get, you're still going to get 350 or between like 300 and 350 of these guild medals, and you're getting 1,000 crystals no matter what. And then as long as you're getting in somewhere in this top at threshold here, you're still getting refined mithril. You're still getting things that you want, right? The big thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you're doing your dailies, right? So you get all these rewards, because these are things that you get every single day. And then these also give you, if you deal a certain amount of damage, some gacha tickets, right? And all of us should be able to hit this 1.75, right? Even on stage 1, you should be able to get to this level, just because at most folks, even if you started within the last couple of weeks, you should be able to hit this 1.75 if you're using the strategies that you're seeing online, or you're seeing from me in particular, right? So you should be able to at least get to this point. That's what you want to make sure you're doing. Make sure you're doing your dailies to get your 300 crystals. And this does reset at 3 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you get your attempts done before that 3 p.m. mark. Otherwise, you'll lose out on those 300 crystals. But other than that, appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. We'll have some more Ever Crisis content coming up. Obviously, we've got a new crossover banner coming soon, which I think is probably going to be the first week of December. So probably after next week, we're going to have a whole bunch of ticket draws when the ticket pulls upgrade next Thursday. So folks are looking forward to that. And yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, we'll see you again in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.